All right. And then I'll just, oh, I think I hid my tablet. So usually I watch on the tablet, but oh, there it is. I usually have to hide it from the boys.
It's okay, it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. We are live. Hey, everyone.
Hey! We
Welcome,
solved the
welcome.
mystery of the time travel. Finally.
Yeah.
I said in the castle time flows in a mysterious way. So anyway,
Yeah.
we have problems with the matching of time zone in different countries. And anyway,
Yes.
sorry for
Yes.
people if they were waiting, but crazy
Yeah.
things happens in the castle every time.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
worth the
Yes.
waiting. It's worth the waiting. So
Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't like make people waiting. So, and anyway, it happens. But we are here half an hour before. I mean, anyway, we are here. We have
No.
fun. We materialized.
what
I mean, it's okay.
what's happening in the castle, Andrea? Tell us
It's
everything.
very drafty, so I have a bad cold. So when you travel around the castle, you have to pay attention because if you spend too much time there, it's very drafty, and then you get sick. It's a cold, dark place sometimes, you know.
Oh,
All, I
no.
mean, imagine a classical castle in Scotland where it's raining, it's cold, and it's a problem. But anyway, we survived.
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm just putting we are live. I like that though, because I was actually looking more through it. Because I listened to another one of your interviews where you talked more about your origin story, and a lot of people had questions about where to get those books and stuff. The original
The original, you mean Calvino
Calvi.
book?
Yeah, that's sorry. I had
Calvino,
the
oh
name written
yeah.
here, but yeah, sorry.
No, no, no,
I
no,
was
no, it's
looking.
okay because there are a lot of ideas that is like a certification of ideas. The original idea of the Tower of Cross Destinies come from a Calvino book that is called The Castle of Cross Destinies. He imagined a castle where people enter, and as soon as they enter, they lose their voices. And the only way they can communicate and tell their own stories, the story that brought them to the castle, is using a pack of cards. It is a tarot deck. And I like that idea a lot because Calvino, what he's doing is very deep, is very clever. Is questioning the way we are constructing meaning through images, through symbology, and he wanted to use tarot because, I mean, it's the most intriguing and fascinating way for conveying meaning.
Yeah,
You took up whatever card, there is a lot of symbols, something is up, and there is a name, there is a number, then there you have a background, a foreground, some figure that, I mean, they can tell a story, even if you don't know anything about tarot. You watch them and you started to create a storytelling in your mind. So I liked that idea. Calvino never described the castle, but I said, well, I love the idea of the castle that is like a super entity. And so a castle where every room is a tarot card. And so I modified the idea. I mean, Calvino never thought about that. This is my taking of, I mean, a suggestion from Calvino and everything. And where do you can find it? You can find and think everywhere because actually because Calvino, I mean, I like reading Calvino. When I started to write directly in English, something like 3 years ago. Before that, even maybe many years, because I think the first book that I've written directly in English is The Book of Shadows, an Alchemist Story
yes.
because it was the first time that I was writing directly in English because usually I used to write in Italian and then late translate and then have an help with a corrector, I mean, proofreader, and she was change, I mean, the things that needed to be changed. To study how to write, I took my old Italian books from by Calvino and I bought the English version and then I compared. And so I study how some peculiar structure that I use in typical Italian, how they are translated in English. And I love it. So it changed my life. And so I know that you can find Invisible City, the Castle of Cross Destinies, you will find them. I think there are different publisher that translate Calvino in the 80s. So I don't think it would be difficult to
Oh,
find it because during the Kickstarter campaign, someone commented about Calvino and we spoke publicly about the Invisible City and the Tower of Cross Destinies, sorry, the Castle of Cross Destinies. And then she
Mhm.
found the books, I
oh,
think they both of them. So it's not a problem.
Okay, I'll have
But I
to
will
deep
write the
dive.
references so
Okay.
people can check more correctly.
Yeah. They want like a just yeah, no, just for people who like do the deep dive, like,
Well, but
like
it's a very
want to
interesting,
do layers.
it's a very interesting and fun writing because, I mean, reading, because when you read Calvino, it's layered, it's very philosophical, it's very witty. It's like, think about Terry Pratchett, but with a lot of philosophy and culture, their references and everything. So it's not just witty and funny, it makes you think. And I mean, I love it. It's really, really, if you love, I mean, think about Borges. Borges write in a very similar way of Calvin. I mean, not right, they have a similar point of view, philosophical point of view on reality with magic realism, what now is called magic realism, magic and crazy stuff happening. And I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, definitely. Especially if he's really like writes like Terry Pratchett, because I like his books too. He's
Yeah,
always
this I think
interesting,
it's one
but
of the
he's more
first
fantasy.
author I
Yeah.
started to read in English, even if my first ever book in English was The Lord of the Rings.
Yes. I love that.
That I love it. Oh, it was
Yes.
a book that made me dream when I was a teenager. I devoured it in Italian, of course, and then I wanted to read it in English when I started studying English by myself. Is the first book that I ever read in English. It was incredibly painful because there are lots of words that are not used anymore. I mean, they are rare now, but I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, I still have the book note when I
Yeah.
wrote all the words and I didn't know it because I was
Oh,
checking the dictionary, write down the meaning, and so every night I was trying to memorize more and more words. Tough
yeah.
words,
Yes. Yes.
but it was fun.
I love that. Yeah, that is fun.
That's great.
That was a good one too, Lord of the Rings. And I'm trying to think, maybe you want to do more questions. I had questions people asked, but now let me see. Oh, that's the thing. Someone asked, because you're saying the castle reshuffles every night, and it's like, so if the castle reshuffles every night and you go into the entrance, it's just going to be how people shuffle the cards. It's not like the book that is going to like tell you what tarot card always you enter with, but it's how you want to enter through the tarot deck. I hope I answered their question right because it was on Messenger.
Yeah, I think if I understood correctly, I mean,
Yeah.
if, imagine the castle like a pack of cards. So the
Mhm.
first room is the first card that you pick up.
Okay.
So every time can change. There is not an entrance. The entrance is this. This is the gate. This is the only gate is always stay the same. But then as soon as you
Okay.
shuffle, and so whatever room is the first room, even because, as I said, before entering into the castle, if you have a question, you think about the question. If you have a doubt, if you want to dialogue with the castle, you start thinking about the first sentence that you say, and then the castle will answer with a room. So the first room you enter is the first proposition of the castle. Imagine it like a
Hmm.
dialogue is
Yeah.
a full
Mhm.
sentence, is a meaning, and something like you say, "Oh, shall I dare to do this or not?" And I don't know, the first card, the Fool, you noted, okay, the Fool is an interesting card for beginning a new journey, and then you have to navigate the others to read it and read it properly, but it's interesting.
Yes. No,
Mhm.
I like that. That's what they were, yeah, asking. I like that too because it always reminds me of like if there's like a doorway that leads to nowhere or like the staircase that leads to nowhere because like you were saying, it constantly changes. And yeah,
Yeah, I
especially with
like this
some,
kind of architectures because they are more intriguing, they are more mysterious, they are more interesting. I think that the idea of a castle that reshuffle themselves every night and it make things more interesting. Imagine living in a place like that. It's a little bit unsettling maybe when you have to look for another bathroom, but it can be a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun. I would like to live in a house that shuffle its room every time. It would be an
yes,
exploration every day.
yes, definitely. Oh my goodness. And it's like the room that you need. It's not necessarily the room that you want to find.
Yeah, but then I don't know you what you do in your life, but usually after a while I change the order the disposition of the furniture in my room because I get bored. So I like the idea of changing. I mean, the desk is here, tomorrow the desk will be there, and I move everything around because in this way you change perspective, and I like it. I like this kind
Mhm.
of changes. So I like changes houses too. So not too often, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's nice to change perspective, change places. I like it.
Yeah,
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 no, absolutely. I like that too. Um, yeah, because that's like really kicking up the energy anyway. Nothing becomes stagnant, nothing becomes
Exactly.
dusty, nothing becomes, the same way of thinking. Actually,
Yeah.
it trains your brain, I would think, a little bit too.
Or like
Like,
changing the disposition of the paintings of the poster you have. Sometimes you move it around. It's not reprinting something new. Sometimes yes, but sometimes you just change this position and everything change. In front of me for, I don't know, 1 year there was the cards of the devil. Now there is the six of swords there, hanging, happy. So I like it. And another day I will change it. I will put something differently. So why not?
yeah, it's like a living mandala.
Yeah. Or like changing clothes to reflect the mood of the day. One day you're dark and all somber in black, another day you are fluorescent red because it's springtime. And I like that too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I like that. That is fun. Definitely changes with the moods. Or like I said, keeps your brain moving, keeps your brain
Yeah.
like active
Yeah.
because you got to remember where things are. Ooh, I would imagine, especially in the middle of the night, like you're trying to like walk to the bathroom or something, stub your toe because you forgot you moved a chair. That's it.
I have that feeling. Actually, when I move around during the night, because sometimes I work at night and everything, if I don't turn on the light, I have to pay attention to my dog. Every time he's sleeping in front of doors, so you trip on the dog and it's not nice.
Oh
One of
no.
these, I will break my neck because I fall on this staircase because I trip on the dog. It's never nice.
Oh no. Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's
it's
not good.
dangerous. So now
Yeah,
I pay attention every time I have, okay, let's watch it, but it's okay.
yeah, yeah. My biggest problem is I always forget where I put the water bowl, so I end up stepping in the water bowl and then it goes everywhere. And then you're forced to just turn off the light and then you're up.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. But I guess this is the reason why we like to collect tarot because we have different tarot with different shapes, different illustration because it depends on the mood, what you want to say, and then sometimes change the decks, give you a new perspective about the meaning of the cards itself. So it's an interesting operation. I know people that read tarot mixing different decks. And I like
Yes.
that because it's intriguing. Sometimes I use different decks. So I
Yes.
start using one, and then I took mixing maybe an Oracle deck with a Tarot deck, a Lenormand one, and I think he's interesting. At the end, why not? The point is going beyond the cards and create as more meaningful connection is possible to create and not stay stuck to the meaning of the card. This is the reason why I always say I never solve all the mystery in the booklet. The booklet is just the guide. There are lots of things there. It's already, I mean, from beginners to expert. But then you have to navigate every single card to explore the meaning by yourself,
Hmm.
see what the cards tell to you. And again, there is no right or wrong. It tells something to you is for you. I mean, why
Hmm.
not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Especially how you were saying that like all the people cards are like specters of the past, like forgotten stories or like future possibilities, but actual specters. So like, that neighbor who won't leave you alone
Yeah.
or something, or like the bully from a childhood. We've
You
all had
know,
them.
from when I had this idea when I was creating the tarot deck, as you know, I love ghost stories. I'm a very gothic person. I like that. I love horror, but the deep one, the psychological one, the kind of horror like the film where you never see the monster, but is always suggested. This is the one that keep you at night. I mean, oh gosh,
Yeah.
I love this kind of stuff. And talking with a friend of mine, we were discussing about the possibility of having ghosts in real life. I mean, they are real, they are not real, and everything. And then all the theories, scientific, pseudo-scientific, they say rational explanation of the ghost, like memory of past time imprinted in the continuum of space and time, and is interesting. But another theory that I really like is if you imagine like time, like the different pages of a book, sometimes the book is closed, so the page touch, and what is the ink of one page filter a little bit in the other one. So when you have a plane of reality that filter into the other, it doesn't come true completely, but just like a shadow, like a ghost. And so you have a ghost. And I like this kind of stuff. And so when I was creating the deck, I wanted to remove all the figure because of the human figure because I like it. It was a game of the imagination at the beginning because I said if every tarot card is a room, if the room is inhabited, then you don't the meaning will be not anymore carried by the space, but by the figure. So the meaning is not as I wanted. I wanted that the castle be the tarot. If I want something like that, I have to remove all the figure. And it was challenging because temperance, what it is, if you remove all the emperor, what do and so the emperor is an empty throne with the crown there and the scepter on the floor. And so something happened and you ask what it is. And so everything, every card is like that. Every time there is a figure, is a ghost, is a dead, is like a pale shadow of something that can come and not, or something that was. And I like it
Hmm.
this way. So the meaning is the room, the meaning is the space, and there is not other possibility to escape it. So whenever you see a shadow of a ghost or something, is something can happen. But I like the idea of imagine if you enter in a room. I mean, it happens sometimes. You went, I don't know, to Versailles or whatever castle you enter, and many times these kind of museums have furnitures and then you have everything there, or sometimes you have the house of a famous writer with or a famous painter where everything was left like the last moment of life of this person. You immediately ask what happened, why this bottle is there, why the color is still open, or what I was typing on the typing machine. I mean, I wanted to create this kind of suspension rooms where something happens. It's not just empty rooms because there are furniture, there are objects, there are things that are on the floor, there are things that are cracked, there are things that are slanting, something, I mean, like a painting is like that. So why is slanting? Something happened, something moved the painting, and then you notice a lot of stuff. And this is what I want in the suspension. Every store, every room is not just a meaning, but is the result of something that happened
Hmm.
or
Mhm.
is like in a limbo waiting for something to be. And I like that. I think this is give my fantasy a lot of stretch.
Hmm.
And I have to read the tarot, and I love it. I really,
Oh
really
yeah.
love using this deck. I did it when I was creating, experimenting, and doing because you have to test a lot an idea. And then I start sharing with friends. We play it together, and I mean it's fun.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. And actually, that was one of the questions somebody, you're actually touching on it. She said, do you think that the way tarot is being read with other decks is a way it's changing and evolving, and that this could influence how decks will be made and produced in the future as potential companions or even a series? I can
Absolutely,
read.
yes. If you
Okay.
think about the way, I don't know, Etelia was reading tarot, it's completely different from today. But think about it. If I ever, something came immediately to my mind. You know that I'm a Buddhist and I love the readings of the Buddha. I read a lot of sutras, I love studying. I mean, it's difficult, but I like it. Once he told something that for me was really, really revelatory. He said, when you approach my ideas on study or everything, you don't have to think about a series of notions that you have to incorporate. I'm like a medicine. The medicine change from people to people, to time. And I like a medicine for the soul, of course. So tarot are the same. They are medicine for the soul. They are mirror of the soul. Now we have, imagine now all the discussion that we have about patriarchy, about gender, about freedom, about ecology. 100 years ago, was like anathema. You never, I mean, male, females, of course we know what they are. But now we are changing the definition because we discovered that the definition is not grasping the complexity and the reality of us as human beings. So we are evolving. Now think about the idea that a woman has to vote what the husband is saying to her. And this is, I mean, my grandpa and grandmother, they live in that kind of structure. When we talk politics or something like that, my grandma was like an echo chamber for whatever was saying my grandpa. She was not allowed to have her own mind. I found it incredibly disgusting, incredibly sad. But this was her life. It's the education they received. If you have not the intellectual tools to dismantle the education you received, you live it, and maybe you will be forever unhappy in your life without even knowing why. Why? I mean, she wasn't happy. Of course, she was crushed. I mean, how could she be happy? I mean, she was absolutely unhappy person. But I mean, we are victim of our time, of our education, and ourselves sometimes. So I think yes, tarot will evolve. It could keep evolving, and I like the idea that you come back even in time. I love to use the Marseille deck. I love to use the Rider Waite, but it depends. I mean, it depends from the mood, it depends from the time, it depends from the readings. It is the reason why every time I say to people, don't be too fixed about the traditional meaning. Start from that because it's intriguing, it's important, but then evolve. Think about like words. The word gay. We used to say happy. Gay and happy was just the same. Today, if you say, "Oh, I'm gay," it doesn't mean that you are happy. I mean, it's something completely different. So we have to know the meaning of the word because if you read, I don't know, a Victorian book, you find the word gay and you have to know exactly what they meant with that. You cannot use the meaning that we apply now to the words. And this is interesting. I love that. I was training this kind of perception, if you want, because when you study a dead language, you have a representation of reality that is filtered by a language that is not used anymore. And so you have to understand the description that they give us. Because sometimes the description is so crazy. I remember once none of us were able to translate a little test that the professor gave us to us because he was talking about a statue of a goddess. It was a Latin sentence, a Latin text that was walking around the streets. And so we were trying to make him walk with, I mean, for us it's impossible. So you know that a statue doesn't walk. So we were translating in a completely crazy way to make logic for the modern mind of a statue walking. And he said, remember, this is a legend, this is a myth, it's another reality. And I like that. We have to think about tarot in the same way. Because I
Mhm.
love to start with the historical reading. I mean, when I think of historical reading, I don't think about, I don't mean how people read tarot in the past. I think about the meaning of the symbols that are in the tarot, like the devil, like justice, things that belong to the Middle Age mentality. Because at the end, tarot, if you think about them, they reflect the social structure of reality all the time. And it's very, very interesting. You have the Pope, you have the Popes, so the legend of the Popes Joan, a lot of things going there. Then you have the temporal figure, the Emperor and the Empress. And this is interesting because, again, the Emperor and the Empress, they were not on the same level. It's very difficult to find an empress or a queen in the past, but we have this kind of figure, and when we have them, like Eleanor of Aquitaine, they are incredibly powerful, incredibly magnets for the time. They change the world. So it's interesting. Tarot, if you have, let's say, an historical point of view, it's like see in them reflected the rule of society of the time. And is interesting. When you see the devil now, I guess very few of us think of the devil like something that is real, that is coming to your house to tempt you or destroy you, and or try to make love with you, because this is what happened with witches. Uh, the devil is a symbol for us, but for the middle-aged man, it was real. It is real. The sun is real. I mean, a carrot on the table. There is not distinction between a carrot and the devil. They are equally real. So imagine reading tarot with that kind of mentality, or watching and then with that kind of mentality. Everything change. And this is
Yeah.
what I like. I mean,
Yeah. No, definitely. That is true. I never really thought it that way. Because yeah, it was more of the doesn't make sense. That would be like judgment too. Or even like the hangman. The
it's,
differences.
I mean, this is the reason why I like tarot, because they are so deep, so intriguing. And it's like, a language of figures, a figurative language. And every time we watch them, we have a different story, a different reading, a different notion, a different kind of sentences evolving in time. And maybe it is the reason why after, I don't know, century, we are keep using them, keeping creating them, and keeping elaborating them. Now, maybe the real risk is that not all the tarot deck that we created are deep or philosophical or full of meaning. Sometimes there is just game of the imagination, and I mean, it is okay. It's another way of producing tarot. You can try to produce tarot, try to have thinking about the use of them, or maybe sometimes you create like, I don't know, the zombie tarot of a film inspired tarot, and there is nothing wrong. You use it, you like it. I mean, it's another way of communicating. Maybe it's even
Mm.
closer to
Mhm.
people because if you have watched a film and then you have a tarot that created by the film, you know the story, the emotion, the innuendo of the film, and you can understand maybe better the tarot if you approach for the first time to tarot. I don't know. Is another way of doing it.
Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
no, definitely. So especially with like folklores or folk tales, because like say you have a Cinderella deck, there's so many meanings and archetypes and
Yeah, yeah.
you
Then it's
know,
up to you to use it or not to use it. Every one of us has his own different sensibility and needs. My imagination is triggered by something, and yours maybe from something else. So this maybe is the reason why. I mean, this is why we have a lot of art around and different form of art and different film and everything.
oh yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it'll touch, yeah, people will touch on different things for all of it.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes.
my nose is
Oh
killing
no,
me.
no. Oh, trust me, I
Unfortunately.
I get it. I've had to give talks before where I was sick and like I'm
Oh
like
gosh,
hiding behind the camera while I'm like coughing up something.
I cannot
So
hide, so I
I
can.
get it. No, but I because I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's winter. Finally, it's over. This is, the season when it's not that cold. I mean, where the day, one day is very cold, the other day is very hot, and this is the result. So it's okay.
Oh no, yeah. We had tornado warnings yesterday, so I
Oh
get it.
wow.
Yeah, I know. Like it was crazy. But um yes, no, that's why I like collecting like a lot of decks too, because they're all different. And recently, like I think like a year ago, I got that Rorschach deck. See, now I'm like putting it all together. Where it's the ink blot deck. Sorry.
What
Yeah, yeah,
deck?
no, no, okay.
Ror Rorschach, right? I'm saying it wrong. We're just gonna laugh about that.
Worcestershire
But
sauce.
yeah, but the yeah, ink blot deck. We're so like asking when you cover the meaning when you're asking someone to look at it because then whatever they say and then you show the meaning. Like somebody thought a bumblebee was like the nine of swords. Like, isn't that?
No, I like that. I mean, I love this kind of attitude and things and everything. I mean, I like it, and there are so many tarot decks that are incredibly interesting, incredibly deep, or challenging around, very poetic, very artistic, and wow, I mean, it's good. It's never enough. I mean, is something that I mean, I don't watch other tarot artists like competitors. I see like people talking the same language and expressing in a different way, and it's intriguing to collaborate, to share ideas, to confront point of views and ideas. I'm not the kind of artist that is care about the sharing of techniques, ideas, and everything.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a world that is quite solipsistic, in which everyone is secluded in their own bubble and they protect themselves, they create creation, they techniques. I mean, I remember once after having explained to this painter, we were sharing a group of creativity and everything. She asked me how I did something, and I explained her. And when I said, "Oh, I'm curious about your technique," her answer was, "Oh, I will never share it. It's mine." I
Oh
said, "Oh,
yeah.
thank you." I mean, yeah, partly it's very rude, but because I just share mine. But anyway,
Yeah.
but apart that, I reply very honestly to her. I said, well, for me, this is a very bad way of living. It's like keeping everything for yourself, for your experience and everything. Remember that if you share your technique with someone else, that someone else will interpret it in his own way. It never will be the same. And then your technique is just one part of your style. And your style is all the things that you
Hmm.
communicate. So why are you so afraid to do it? I don't
Yeah.
understand. But this is, I don't know. Everyone is done in a different way, but I believe in sharing, cooperating, in creating together. I mean, otherwise I will never create a discombobulator. The
Oh,
magazine.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
is important above all when the world is started to fight one against the other and divided in little and deep divide about things that should not matter, not in this way, it's better to sit on a table and start talking and solve the real problem. So,
yeah.
Mhm.
No, I like that. And then I actually had a thought too, but someone had a question, so I'll show you the question first, and then I'll share my thought.
yeah.
Um, I find it interesting that most mass-produced decks are still created within the structure of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, even though the decks can be so different from the Rider-Waite-Smith, they still call them tarot. So, what about a new way of describing decks? How does Andrea feel about describing new decks as tarot still? What would he call them instead?
Well, if I think that there are decks that are so distant, and I understand, even because when I created the Tarot Across Destinies, I don't know if it's so close or so distant. I mean, if you think about the meaning, it's very close to the traditional tarot, so the Marseille one and the Rider-Waite, because we don't have to forget that the Rider-Waite is an interpretation of the Marseille one that reflect the mood, philosophy and thinking of that time. It is the reason why we are so full of Egyptian references and everything, because it was Egyptian mania. And so you have that, I mean, it's something that the Golden Dawn wanted to do. And so they reflected kind of mentality. So we don't have to think about the Rider-Waite like the original tarot. No, they are a very specific interpretation. They are interesting because they were the first one that destroyed the pips, reinterpret them, and put in something figurative. So for everyone will be easier to read them. And this is bold. So the Rider-Waite are the first tarot deck that don't reflect the structure of a tarot deck. But we call it, the moment, we call it tarot deck because at the end, we are giving the same soul a different body. And so this is the point. If we don't have the same soul, you don't have the same card, the same meaning and everything, we have an oracle deck. So there are so many decks that are closer, some that are completely different. And I think, I mean, if see what I have done with the Tarot of Cross Destinies and the Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows was very, very close to the Visconti Sforza, to the Marseille, and part of the Rider-Waite. This one is like a leap forward. But because I already created a deck of cards, it was like a reinterpretation of even visually of something that was there. Now I wanted to do something more, something different. And so if you ask me if I call my tarot deck, this one, the Tarot of Cross Destiny, still a tarot deck, I say yes, because the meaning is the same of the old one. I wanted to represent the meaning in a different shape, but keeping
Mhm.
the meaning unchanged, but layered, adding my own thought, cultural references, things that are different, even because think about something that happened now. At the beginning, tarot were a Western uh, result. They were the result of a Western culture. Now we have tarot deck created in Africa, in Asia. So from culture that are not Christian, and tarot are very deeply Christian in their background. I mean, they're built in Italy, so I mean, very Catholic actually, not only Christian, with the references, the story, and everything. But then now they are used with people with different religion, with different ethnicity, with different culture and different history. So I think it's very natural. The decks evolve and change. Think about the decks that are created in Asia. They use a lot of manga style to create tarot deck. And I like them. I mean, some of them are very, very interesting. Some of them don't belong to my aesthetics, but I will never judge in a negative way.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
like that. That is amazing. And it's interesting, yeah, to see how people like put their artistic thing on there. Because that's what I was gonna say about your deck. Like just thinking of all the ways, I could use it. Like it would be that coaching deck. It would be the having people wander through there. You know what I mean? Wander through the castle, like actual using each card to coach into how you're going to move and what they would want to see. Because
Yep.
imagine like the five of cups, maybe they don't want to enter that room and they're only seeing like something that they don't want to face yet. So what card would you then lead them to face it before they face that? Like
Yeah,
that's I
or
yeah.
yeah, or watching a room, the room have windows, doors, something is happening there, and ask them, what do you see in this room? What make you feel comfortable, or what
Yeah.
make you don't feel comfortable? Where your attention goes, and then you have a lot of interesting results because then you can understand better the mentality, the sorrow, the hopes. I mean, the person that is in front of you, and I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they're going to see something different, yeah, with the card then, and it's how you guide them through. That's why I like your deck when, she was saying, because it's still tarot, it's still, you know, leading you through something, finding out what you need to find out, like showing you like things like that on the way, not
Yeah,
just fortune telling, just like
yeah.
really, that's why the specters could be shadow work, shadow work people.
No, I think it's I like I mean, I'm looking forward for the deck to be printed because and distributed because in this way people can start play with it and then I will start to talk with them because this is really really important to me and see how they will read the tarot, what happened, what kind of influence they have and everything and I like that because it's part of the game. I hope the people just don't buy to collect it. I mean, yes,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
of
no.
course. I mean, you can, but in the use of it, I think in a lot of things will be interesting. And in the booklet, I explore new way of reading tarot. That you can use whatever tarot you want, by the way, but I created for that one because the structure of the runes helped me to create different shapes and everything. I was inspired by Calvino, the square, when he laid down all the tarot cards with the stories narrated by the people in the castle he created. I wanted to create a similar structure in such a way that whenever you, let's say, have certain specific question, you can have cross lines and then you have the cross destinies. It is the reason why I wanted to call it the Tarot of Cross Destinies, because you can read it crossing your destiny with one another person with specific spread and everything. And I give samples, I give everything. And I want to explore more the idea and see how people use it, react, and see how people will invent new spreads, new way of reading them. And imagine the reversal. You enter in a room, then it's upside down. That can be very, very interesting.
Hmm.
I have to be
Yes.
honest, I never put any card reversal till now. Is one here that, I mean, I've been creating the deck. I never thought to put one card upside down to see the result. Now I will immediately do it soon after because I want to see what happens because visually I want to see how it stimulates my reading and my fantasy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I like
Makes
that.
sense.
Yes. So but interesting. You haven't gotten a reversal then with this deck or just any decks, since you're saying.
Sorry, say again.
Because you said you haven't gotten reversals with this deck, but not with
Yes,
other
I
decks.
never
Oh,
try.
just with
I
this deck.
visually,
Oh, okay.
visually, I never reverse a
Oh.
car, so I don't know what happened when you reverse it.
Ah.
So I'm very, very curious to see it now visually because I created a card, I painted, and every time I see the card upside down, I put it in order. Usually, I mean, I print a few of them, and I never play
Yeah.
it that way. So I wanted to see it now because it can be very, very interesting.
Yes, that would be definitely because
Yes.
yeah, changes the meanings and stuff like that. Yeah. Or even how you'd enter a room. Ooh, because the room could be upside down. Like you just walk
Yep,
in and it's like an upside down place.
yep, yep.
That would be pretty cool. Just like
Absolutely. It would be very fantastic. Imagine, but there are a place, there is a famous upside down house somewhere, and you have all the furniture on
yes.
the ceiling and everything is upside down. It's a famous landmark. I don't remember
Well,
where it is, but it's fantastic. I love it because I saw a picture of it and it's incredibly quirky and it's incredibly funny.
that's the one here, right? Because I went to that one. It's a scientist's house and everything's upside down, including the house. So I took pictures. You walk into the roof and then everything's upside down, even the
Oh, I
trees, the
love it.
planterns, and then you take a tour through the house. That's the one here, right? Or
I
in
love it.
Yeah,
If you go
Pigeon Forge.
take pictures,
Yes,
then we share
I
it, then
have.
we do a spread about it. The upside down castle. It would be amazing.
Oh, I have tons of pictures. Are you kidding me? I take pictures wherever I go. I have so many pictures of me standing upside down. Yeah.
Great, great. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, that's here. Yeah, the scientist house.
Great. I have to try to see if I can put something upside down in my studio. It would be fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you should. Like like trees or planters are like little mini forests, because those are always the best. Because it's like growing from the heavens instead of growing from the earth.
Yep, yep, exactly, exactly. It would be fun. Hmm.
Those are my favorite. And that's why definitely the upside down room, the flooded room, Five of Cups, I feel like it's flooded because you're just kind of like Alice in Wonderland
Yeah,
crying the tears. So you're just like underwater.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it
No, I
it
like
would
that.
come in handy if you have like a lot of cats that you put your plants on the
Oh,
ceiling.
yeah.
It would be difficult to water it, but yes.
Yeah, but do they need water?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Not everything has solution. We can find a solution. No, I mean, this is what I like. I mean, I don't like the things that are normal. I mean, a house where the rooms are boxes and the windows are the same shape. This is the reason why I always try to live in very old houses because they are quirky. The shape of the room is absolutely strange. Sometimes you don't know how to use them. They are full of niches and things that are completely different, and I love that because my fantasy works better in a place that is not like a box.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
like the boxes. I don't like to spend my time in a box. So I think I never live in a house that was a box. There were always quirky things, so I like that.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Plus, it's more inspiring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was something. So I find it. Oh wait, oh, my outfit. Yes, actually, Lord of the Rings. This is Erwin's dress. Andrea would be perfect reading. Oh, an audiobook. And then if your name is Dean, don't go in. Yes, I get that reference, supernatural reference. I actually have the supernatural deck and lighthouses.
Mhm. I have
She
to
said
see.
lighthouses as a house.
I have
Sorry.
to see it then. Yeah, yeah. Supernatural deck. I love the idea. A
Yeah.
ghostly decks and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Supernatural. Well, Supernatural is the TV show that they explore. It's these two demon hunters that explore, just different like golems or, just like all the supernatural stuff. And it went on for like 15 seasons.
Oh wow.
So,
No,
yeah.
I like this kind of stuff. I'm a little bit, sometimes I'm scared by this kind of, I mean, it's scary because it's scary. Like, I don't know, there are people that put the camera at night, living record everything. And imagine if you see something strange in the morning. I mean, it would be quite scary. Imagine if you see the shadow of a ghost or something that I mean, I don't know if I would like to see it or not. So I like this kind of stuff, but then I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little
No,
bit scared.
I get it.
So I don't
I,
know. You know, when you are attracted, but at the same time you are a little bit scared. Like
oh,
Mhm.
seance. I remember when my mother was doing seance, I mean, I was never allowed to participate. I was a kid, but I remember the darkness of the room and everything. It was scary, it was intense. And then I remember the face of my mother and the people that went out of the room that was absolutely flabbergasted. And he said, what happened there? I mean, it's strange. It's really strange. I have a lot of ghost stories to narrate, I mean, real things that happened in my childhood. A friend of mine, my entourage. I live in a house that was quite peculiar. My mother was quite a peculiar woman, very new age in a good way. I mean, I like new age, so maybe it is the reason why for me it's good. So I like new age, and she
yeah.
was experimenting with occult in a way that was. It was amazing, absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. I think she tried everything: tarot card, the pendulum, the seance, the crystal, the automatic writings. She did so many things. And the results were incredibly unsettling,
Oh my
incredibly
gosh.
beautiful, incredibly strange. So we we used to call it a witch,
Oh, yeah.
and my
Yeah.
mother, but in a good way, because every time my mother told us that she is a witch, like my grandmother was a witch.
Yeah.
And so it's something running in the family. And I remember that she always said, if you misbehave, you have no idea what I can do to you. And then she was
Yeah.
laughing, so it was not horrible and everything. She was cheeky. She was really,
Yeah.
really cheeky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she
I
used to
love
say, I
that.
mean, this is personal, but I mean, it's a story that maybe, anyway, it's fun. She used to say that, oh, when we were kid, if you misbehave and everything, you will make me die. You know, when you make your mother furious for something that she lost the temper, I mean, and everything, she said, ah, the passion said, now, if you go on like that, I will die. All right, if I die, I come the night and pull your feet.
Oh
And
my.
the funny thing is that, I mean, when unfortunately she passed away, I mean, I was in my 40s, and the first night I was keeping up, waking up during the night, and I was watching my feet constantly because I was expecting my mother to pull my feet. I mean, really, but not for, I mean, just for a joke and everything. No, when she was a person that was a joke a lot, very funny, very solar and everything. And then in the morning, I called my brother and said, you know, I was not able to sleep because every time I was waking up and I was expecting to see our mother there walking and doing a joke or just watching me. And my brother started laughing. He said, I have the same night. So I
Oh
said,
no.
really, this is so funny. We were expecting to see her. It was,
Oh.
That's
oh, it
great.
was fun.
I love that. That's sweet. See, that we could go on a whole episode too. Ghost stories,
Yeah.
things we've
Oh, yeah, the ghost
experienced,
story.
because
We are
I've
not
done
scared
some.
about ghost or family ghost because we are used to deal with them in different ways. So for us was natural if your mother passed away to continue to see her as a ghost or continue to interact with her as a ghost. I mean, and crazy stuff happened, so very close to that, but not in the way we were expecting. So I think it's fun. Is part
Yeah.
of life. The ancestor memories and the things are going on like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, definitely. That's it.
But I'm
Yeah, she.
into a ghost story episode, absolutely. But I want to know all yours, I mean, oh, your ghost stories too, because I'm incredibly fond of them.
Oh, I have scary ones too. Like because I've traveled in the middle of nowhere and like the most haunted places and like yeah,
I like
you
that
get like
too. I
I
mean,
yeah.
the ghost, I mean, can be benevolent or can be quite the opposite. So it is the reason why it's better not disturb them.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But it's like half the time I've yeah, well like I said, I could probably go on like I said a whole episode just on that because it's like, oh, I can remember I was telling somebody about ghost stories and they're like, really you went into that area of town? It's like, oh, that seems like a great idea. Middle of the night, take the shortcut, you know? Like only
Wow.
only I would do that. Um but
But it's
yes,
interesting. Then you have stories to tell. This is the point. If you don't enter in the dark wood, you don't know what is there, and you don't have experience, you don't have adventure. Not all the adventure, I mean,
yes.
even the adventure that are not positive, something strange happens, something scary and everything. But then that shape your life, your mentality, your way of acting. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I yeah. Yeah, no, that yeah, that's why we should do it because like I said, I have the stories, definite stories. And I think I was just seeing if there's any other questions before we round it out. Oh, well, I guess wait, real quick, one more question. What would be the biggest and most dramatic ghost in Cross Destinies? And then
Oh, I think you have to see it by yourself because if I tell you something like that, I will spoil the fun. Every castle is bunch of residents ghost. Then there is the traveling ghost, but the
yeah,
residents one are the most interesting. And you have to discover by yourself because in this way it's more mysterious, the fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
castle
and
need to be explored and discovered, and he reveals his secrets in a different way to every one of us.
that's true. Because what's a ghost for one person might not be for another.
Absolutely, yes.
I know for myself, definitely.
Sorry, my nose
And that's
is
what
torturing me.
no, no, yeah, no, you're fine. Like I said, it's yeah, like I know you're not
When I took the
feeling well.
cold, I
I've
always
been
do the
there.
best to take it in a horrible way possible. So anyway,
Yeah, no, you're fine. Um, yeah, no, you're fine. I was just seeing if there's, okay. So yeah, I know that. But yeah, no, I was just gonna say that's well, because you're like I said, yeah. So definitely we'll be back for the ghost story one because I have stories. I've even hauled dead bodies. Fun story
Oh, wow.
across state lines. More later for everyone who wants to come back and hear my dead story hauling. I mean, dead
Oh,
body
I will
story,
be there.
whatever.
Just tell me when you want to tell one of the stories. I absolutely want to listen to them. I mean, absolutely. I love ghost stories. There is nothing as juicy and scary. The scarier, the better. Then
Oh
I don't
yeah, yeah.
sleep, but this is another problem.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like definitely for another thing. But no, I'm talking actual dead bodies. Like people were dead in the back.
Oh, okay. I hope you didn't kill them. I mean, this is the important part. Good.
No, no, it's
We
for
don't
an
have to
exhibit.
report to the police. Good. I mean, I started to
No,
be scared.
exhibit. It was for the bodies exhibit.
Okay.
So more on that. But I was going to say though, for your Kickstarter thing too, for your exploring the castle, because I know that we're coming up on that hour, so like rounding it up. But was there any last thing you wanted to say about the?
Yeah, there are just few days. I think there are 4 days, the last 4 days. And the news is that I already start talking with the printer. That is Imago, one of the best printer in the world. And we are already started the production phase. So I didn't want to act to wait for the Kickstarter campaign to finish. I wanted to bite the time, and so now we are checking on the PDF and everything. Then there are different steps, and I will share all the different steps of the production in the update of the Kickstarter campaign. So people that pledge and they are curious, they can, I mean, they are free, so everyone can see them and see the mockup and see the printing and see the proof. And I like to share this part because it's like from an idea, I share the idea, and now I share the single step to bring the idea to reality. And I love that. I really love it.
Oh, that's yeah, that's amazing. And I know that a lot of people have been asking for the link, so I'm going to put it in the comments again as well, so
No,
that you
thank
have
you.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will write a few references about Calvino books and title
Okay.
and everything, a little bit of so people will find them. And thank you for this amazing walk in the castle. I really, really enjoy
Oh,
it.
yeah, no, I'm
Thank you for
sure. No,
guiding
it's
us.
yes. Yeah, definitely.
No,
No,
it
and I
was a
love
pleasure to navigate, explore the castle with you. I mean, it was really, really a pleasure. So thank you so much.
yeah. No, yeah, talking
Thank
about the
you, Andrea.
reveals of everything. Yeah. And we'll put it in here and then also on the website too, but I can't wait to, well, and like I said, we'll definitely come back for the ghost stories and like maybe when the deck's out, we can do a whole fun thing with that as well. So everybody keep
Yeah,
checking back.
Yeah, it will be
and
fun. Let's do a reading together. It will be absolutely fun. I love that.
Yes.
Let's
yeah,
do
Yes. Oh
it.
my gosh.
good idea. Okay.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh. Definitely. Yeah, we'll do that. So everyone look for the, we'll put all this out there and all that stuff for that fun ghost story thing.
Okay.
All
It
Okay.
right.
was a
Yay.
pleasure.
Oh, thank you. It's always a
Bye.
pleasure.
Bye.
Yeah,
Take
I
care of
love
your
all your stuff.
hands.
So
Take
yeah,
care of
we'll
your hands.
definitely see you.
Bye. Thanks
Yes, and
again.
definitely feel
Thanks.
better.
Bye
Get
to
some
everyone.
rest.
Bye.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. And I might have to kick everyone off again. I'm
Yeah,
still